Thanks everybody for being here. Good afternoon. My name's Dave Corlette, retired Cincinnati Police Department. Prior to that, I was United States Army Desert Storm veteran. Spent 31 years in the Cincinnati Police Department, and I'm here on behalf of Cop Op and Hope for the Warriors. I'm here because Dave Pindola had a lot of friends. I've learned Officer Pindola's story, and the unfortunate part of Officer Pindola's story is that I know it all too well. Dean invited me here to talk to you about what we do at Cop Op. And I think the best way for me to explain that to you is just tell you the brief story of how we got to do what we do today. I'm a policeman, 31 years in an inner city police department. I got promoted to sergeant in 1999. I was one of the senior sergeants in the Cincinnati Police Department. If you'd have told me 10 years ago that today I'd be doing public speaking, I'd have told you were insane. I'm a night shift policeman. I chase bad guys, I jump fences, I fight with people in the street. And then I yell at policemen who do things the wrong way. That was my job. But I was led here, I believe, by a higher purpose. And now today as a retiree, this is what I continue to do. In 2014, I put together a group in the Cincinnati Police Department we called the Military Liaison Group. It was a group of military veterans within the police department, and we taught those military veterans in the police department how to deal with struggling veterans in the field. We were running into military veterans in the late 2000s, buying heroin, picking up ladies in the evening, fighting in the bars, fighting with their spouses, all of those issues that come with post-traumatic stress. But we didn't know how to deal with that audience. We had not dealt with an audience like that, and putting them in jail wasn't helping anybody. It wasn't helping our jails, it wasn't helping our courts, it wasn't helping the veterans. I got to work with a doctor named Kathleen Chard. She's an absolutely brilliant PTSD researcher who runs the inpatient center for the VA in Fort Thomas, Kentucky. She taught me what post-traumatic stress was and how to explain it to other people. And the very first thing I learned about post-traumatic stress from Dr. Chard was that I dealt with it. That's not what I was supposed to learn. I was supposed to learn how to teach my policemen how to deal with post-traumatic stress in military veterans in the field. But I learned that 5 years of my life, I was what I call the angry guy. I spent 5 years of my life, my teenager will tell you I did, where I was mad at the world every day. And I didn't know why I was mad. I couldn't attribute it to anything special. I couldn't tell you that morning why I woke up and was angry. My wife couldn't tell you. Fortunately, I've been married to the same woman for 35 years, and she got to know that look on my face. And when I came home from work, she'd say, I know that look. Go in that room and don't come out and talk to another human being until you feel better. So for 5 years, I paid attention to my wife, and that's how it got to be. I learned what post-traumatic stress was. But the first thing I learned in the military program is that my policemen did not know what post-traumatic stress was. They didn't know how to recognize it in the field. They didn't know how to deal with a soldier who was dealing with post-traumatic stress. They didn't know what resources to seek out for those veterans. They didn't know anything about post-traumatic stress. 1,100 policemen in the Cincinnati Police Department. I went to the chief said, teach our policemen how to deal with post-traumatic stress. And I said, Chief, I'm a night shift policeman, I chase bad guys. He said, well, now you're a teacher, teach my policemen. So for the next 6 months, 60 cops at a time, we taught those policemen what post-traumatic stress looked like. A basic course on what post-traumatic stress looks like in a human being. What the symptoms are, what they experience, and how to help other people with post-traumatic stress. One of the coolest things in my life happened when I started teaching that class. At the end of every one of those classes, 3 or 4 policemen would approach me and they'd be like, hey Sarge, you know that stuff you were talking about in the class earlier? I think I have post-traumatic stress. I think I have those symptoms. What should I do? I had no idea. I'm the veteran guy. I don't know how to help policemen. Are you a military veteran? No. I don't know what to do for you. I had to learn what to do. That's where wellness programs began in Cincinnati, Ohio. I went out and I found several psychologists that were willing to talk to my policemen without reporting to the chain of command. No more fear of losing your gun, losing your badge, losing your position. But you could seek treatment without anybody else knowing about it. Every single class, I had 3 or 4 policemen like that. Well, word got out that we were teaching this class. Ohio Attorney General decided, I want this class taught all over the state of Ohio. So for the next 6 years, we taught at the Ohio Attorney General's Conference to policemen all over the state of Ohio. After that, the DOJ learned about what we were doing and decided they wanted us to teach all over the country. So now Dr. Chard and I have the most horrible retirement job in the world. I travel the country and I get to talk to other first responders and military programs around the country. It's one of the greatest things I could ever ask to do, and I believe it was a God-given purpose. I'm here because I know you guys are suffering, and I know you're hurting, and I know you've had a rash of trauma in this area, and we're going to try to affect what happens from here on. Dean's goal through Larry and myself, I know we're already coming back in October, and we're going to be instructing at the delegate conference here in October. And I believe if we can teach 3 or 4 policemen to go talk to somebody, then we've been successful. And that's my goal. I want you, I'm looking over here, I see a lot of young guys over here. My goal is to teach your generation to be better than mine. Do better than me. Know that it's okay to not be okay. We're human beings. It's okay to not be okay. I was in combat. I spent a year in combat. I saw more trauma on my job in 31 years than I saw in combat. And I know what we're all going through. It's okay to not be okay. And we're going to teach you that. We're going to help you understand that. I think that's about all I have for you today. I don't want to bring the mood down. I want everybody to have a good time. But I want you to understand that people are out here trying to make a difference in your lives, and we're going to do our best.
Thank you so much, Dave Corlette. Everyone flew in from Cincinnati for this event. We are going to affect change, guys. Dave's name will be remembered. It's not just about Dave, it's about many others. So we are going to make a difference. We're going to hold the feet to the fire. The PBA is going to be doing a training program sometime in October. So in 10 weeks, we've made some great strides. And Mrs. Pendola, God bless you. Larry, you want to come up, brother?
All right, good afternoon. Welcome to an amazing event. There's a lot of fun here, a lot of cars, vendors, music, and raffles, and some great organizations as well. So definitely take your time to see what everybody's all about. As Dean said, my name is Larry Ortolani. I'm a retired Suffolk County police officer and PBA trustee, advocating for the members of the 3rd Precinct. My retirement came to an end, or came to be, when I was intentionally struck and injured by the driver of a vehicle while I was investigating a 911 call for a suspicious car. This was a extremely traumatic event that left me deeply impacted, even as I stand here today. In retirement, I am continuing to advocate for first responders, and about 6 months ago, I started a company called Blue Line Advocacy and Wellness, a company that advocates for and facilitates mental health and PTSD services for first responders. Over the last few months, and over the course of a mere 73 days, Suffolk County law enforcement lost 4 members, along with another from the NYPD, all of whom died by suicide. New York City retired police officer Joseph Modlin on December 5th. Probation officer Aaron Ferretti on January 19th. Police officer David Pendola on January 29th. Deputy Sheriff Joseph Gallo on February 14th. And Lieutenant Steve Surian on February 18th. 73 days. 5 men lost to their struggles. But we will not allow these tragedies and others like them to continue without affecting positive change to help those still coping with personal struggles. It is how we can and will honor these men. These terrible tragedies have brought many people together who will do anything possible to fight the stigma of mental health and PTSD treatment for first responders and military veterans. We can do so much more to help others recognize the signs of post-traumatic stress and trauma, and possibly even more importantly, what to do when we see those debilitating signs. Whether it be peer mentorship, counseling by licensed mental health clinicians, non-traditional therapy like the equine therapy provided by the Warrior Ranch Foundation, or sailing therapy provided by Sailorhead 219, who literally sail with their mates, represented by 219 name tags of veterans who have taken their own lives and do so with every month. No matter which of these or something else, there is always some way to reach out to people who need it if we care enough about this cause. As Dave said, I am proud to say that Blue Line has reached an agreement to bring training to the members of the Suffolk PBA, and this training will do exactly that. Thank you. It'll help the leaders, delegates, trustees, peer support officers within that union not only recognize the signs of struggle, but what to do after those signs are apparent. Thank you again to Hopeful Warriors and Cop-Op and Dave for that initiative. And thank you to Suffolk PBA Lou Sevilla, President, and Peer Support Committee Chairman Miguel Villas for recognizing that need and for authorizing this training. Ladies and gentlemen, trauma is cumulative. It doesn't matter whether it's a police officer who may see and experience terrible circumstances on a daily basis over a career that often spans 3 decades, or a military veteran who may see and feel some of the worst things we could ever imagine. Trauma is cumulative. We may not realize why someone is falling into crisis when they do, but it is our job, our mission, to set up the safety net that catches them when they fall. I want to thank a true warrior, Dean Nickel, who's crushing this event for the 9th year in a row. Dean, your hard work and dedication are truly appreciated by so many who were lucky enough to witness your passion for this cause. And to Hope for the Warriors Foundation, an incredible organization that has made PTSD-related treatment and assistance for military veterans their mission. So in closing, I'd like to thank you all for being here to support such a great cause. Once again, I'm Larry Odolani of Blue Line Advocacy and Wellness. Please come see me at the Hope for Warriors Cop-Op tent. I'm here to help anyone today or any day. Have a great day. Thank you.
I thought I was done. There were 2 things I forgot to tell you that are super important. When I say it's okay not to be okay, there's a reason I say it. When I finished my career, I was one of 4 sergeants on day shift in downtown Cincinnati. We were all senior guys. We were, the retired on duty guys, right? Of those 4 sergeants, 2 of them left us by their own choice. I've lost 2 of those 4 sergeants. The 3rd one is an alcoholic, and I'm the 4th. So when he says trauma is cumulative, and it doesn't stop when you retire. You have to make peace with your mind. And I think that's so important. And I want the spouses and significant others in this audience to listen to this part. You are the people who are going to recognize the problems in us. You're going to recognize them before we do. You're going to see the behavioral changes before we do. And we may argue with you that we have not changed, but you will see those behavioral changes prior to us, or prior to our coworkers, supervisors, spouses, significant others. Pay attention to your people. Don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to talk to somebody about it, or make your spouse talk to somebody about it. I know that's a tough place to put you, but you are going to be the ones who see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Dave. Thank you all for stopping, listening, understanding that Dave's death will not be futile. We are going to make a difference. We are already inside of 10 weeks. We've got this initiative in place with PBA, and this is only the beginning. This is a car show now. This is an event. This is a change on mental health and how we're going to impact others in the future. And by the grace of God, we'll make a difference for those who need help. So I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for coming out, turning up, making a difference, reaching down deep, enjoying it. And Dave would say, let's party, let's get the band rolling, have a couple cocktails, soak it up, love each other. Love each other. God bless you.